Good morning, everyone. So today we're continuing our work. We're finding the greatest common factors of binomials. Of course, our topic of today is GCFs of binomials. Our learning target today, I can factor binomials by finding the greatest common factor. And let's get straight into it. Problem number 1 reads, find the GCF of the terms in the binomial 2x plus 10 x to the higher power 3. So let me rewrite that down here so I know what I'm working with. So we have 2x plus 10x cubed. First things first, you want to separate your coefficients. And your variables. So our coefficients, remember coefficients are number that come before variables. They're also being multiplied for the variables. So we have 2 and 10. So I'm going to write it over here. And our variables, we have x and x cubed. So I'm going to write it over here. Now, when it comes to finding, let's go back to our coefficient. When it comes to finding the GCF, we have to list out the factors. What I mean by factors are two numbers you multiply together to get a product. Our products in this case are 2 and 10, starting with 2. 2 is our product, so I want to know two whole numbers that multiply together that give us the number 2. And I know that 1 is a factor and 2 is the other factor because 2 is a prime number. Now down here with 10, 1 is a factor because 1 is a factor of every whole number. Then we have 2 because 10 is an even number. And we have 5 because 5 times 2 is 10. And of course, we have 10 because 10 is a factor of itself because 1 times 10 is 10. Now when it comes to finding the GCF is the greatest factor you can divide both numbers by. In this case, we have 2 and 10. So our GCF is 2 because it is our greatest factor. So I'm going to take a little note over here. So our greatest common factor between 2 and 10 is the number 2. That is our GCF for 2 and 10. Now on to our variable terms. We want to pay attention to our exponents. So we have x to the higher power 1 and then we have x cubed. Pay attention to this 1 and this 3. When it comes to variable terms and you're trying to find the GCF, you want to make sure that it stays as a positive exponent when you divide it. So when you divide, for example, if you divide x to the higher power 1 over x cubed, by the laws of exponents, this will give us x to the higher power negative 2. Therefore, x cubed cannot be our GCF. Versus if you divide x cubed by x to the higher power 1, we will have x squared. Since our exponent is still positive, this can be our GCF. Therefore, by default, our GCF between our variable terms is x to the higher power 1 or just simply x. Now what you want to do is take this 2 and this x, multiply it together or combine it together, and you will have the term 2x. So this is our greatest common factor. Our greatest common factor between the terms of our binomial 2x plus 10x cubed. That 10 is so disgusting. 10x cubed. So I'm going to repeat that again. 2x, which we got from multiplying this x and this 2 together, is our greatest common factor between the terms 2x plus 10x cubed. Let me clarify some things. So in the questions on yesterday's classwork, when I asked you guys to find the largest integer you can divide all the terms by, what I mean is find the GCF of the coefficients. For problem number 3, you're only finding the GCF of our coefficients. Now for problem number 4, when I asked you guys to find the largest degree you can divide the terms by, what I mean by that is find the GCF of the variable terms. That's all I want to know. Problem 3, coefficients only. Problem 4, variables only. And then problem 5 is I want something like this. All right, here goes your problem 2 for the day. You know what to do. Take a screenshot, complete it, or write it down and put your answer in your assignment for the day. Have a good day, guys.